All right, you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Shay. So we're gonna do another super random video on a topic that I do not know, but we're in the car. We're doing a little car ride and we have a little extra time to just talk. Okay, now we're just letting you guys in on our normal everyday car ride conversations, because this is what we do. We dig into topics, we pick each other's brains, all that type of stuff. So
So today isn't going to be about church. Today's not going to be about the Bible. Well, this video isn't going to be.
Yeah.
This video is, what have you done to show your significant other that you love them today?
Oh, so this is more like a married.
Yes, this is a married, and I'm not talking about your baby father. I'm not talking about your boyfriend, because there's a difference. Your baby father, your boyfriend, your baby mom, your girlfriend does not deserve the same thing that your husband or wife does. Right? Nothing drives me more crazier than that.
Yeah. So a lot of people, would you say like a lot of people get it misconstrued when they do everything that a married couple does, but they're not married?
I feel like women more or less have that, do that. They feel as if they treat their boyfriend the way that they would treat their husband.
Yeah.
And yes, you got to do things in order to be considered a valuable mate, but you don't have to treat them exactly like you would treat your husband.
Right, and then by the time they get married,
They ain't doing it no more.
they're not doing the proper care. They're not nurturing the marriage the way that they did or should, because they've already done that with their boyfriend, and the boyfriend didn't deserve it, so he messed it up. Okay, but I, on the flip side, feel like a lot of men do that. A lot of men, if you don't tell them, oh, I want to be your wife, I want to be married, then they will string you along.
Absolutely.
For years.
Absolutely.
Years.
Have 6 kids with you.
Listen, have 10 kids with you. I've seen this. 7 kids later, and you still not married to her?
Right. Well,
And you still not forcing him to marry you?
Yep.
Like, yeah, so.
And marriage takes a lot of work. It's nothing to be played around with.
Right.
Like, more marriages fail right now, I feel, because nobody's equipped to handle marriage anymore.
Right.
You so busy playing, house, that you don't actually know how to operate.
Right. So, one thing that I've realized and learned about marriage is that it will expose you to you. Like, it will show you exactly what areas you lack. It'll show you what areas you're strong. It will show you and expose childhood trauma. It will show you those things. It's like a mirror. A marriage is a mirror.
Yep.
You look at your marriage and you're gonna see yourself.
Yep.
You're gonna see the flaws, you're gonna see the beauty, you're gonna see it all.
Absolutely. And so, in everyday men, you need to get up and let your wife know and show your wife how much you love her every day. And it can't, we get sometimes caught up in our own selves and what we want to do, that we're not taking the proper time out to let our wives know that we love them. You go to work every day and bring her home the paycheck, and you say, well, she should just know, because I'm doing all this. When in actuality, you need to take the time out. Women are different than us.
Super different.
They need the reassurance. They need the time spent. They need you to emotionally babysit them. Right or wrong?
And I see no lies told. Like,
You know
yes,
what drives
emotionally babysit me.
Yes.
Period.
And
Because
you know what drives me more crazier than anything that guys do? They say, I don't have the time to do all that, and they're sitting there with a video game controller in their hand.
Uh-oh.
You're a grown man. Video games are done and over with. You want to play a game? Play a game called Family. Raise your family.
Right.
Have a son and let him play your video games. Grown men, there is no reason, unless you are making a living from it, that you should be playing video games.
Yeah.
There are more important things to do out there than do that. Period. I put my video games away. When was the last time where have you ever seen me play a video game, as a matter of fact?
When we dated.
When we dated. That was it. And even then I really didn't do it because I was involved in other things that I couldn't do that all the time.
Right.
So grown men don't play video games. Grown men handle their family.
I'm sorry, keep going. It's okay. My people let me flaws and all. Everybody listen.
We don't need to see. Look at this.
I was really talking to myself. Keep going.
So you go through and waste all this time doing things that all the time could be spent on your children, your wife, the fixing of the things that need to be done in your home. Not just relationships, but actually fixing the things that are going wrong. If you don't know how to do something, YouTube it. There's a million different videos online that will tell and walk you through everything you need to have done. But I'm not here to knock men all the way.
Right.
Because, there's a whole nother flip side to this. Because it's 50-50 in a marriage.
Absolutely.
You're wrong. When there's an argument or a fight going on, 50% of it is you.
Yeah.
Whether you think you're wrong or not. Ladies, you knew who you married when you married them. So you either accept that situation, sit down and talk to them and explain what it is that, is bothering you, or just deal with it. Right or wrong?
Very right. And women, I know we always like to be right and feel right and like hold our partners accountable, but there is a difference between holding your partner accountable and you also not taking account for yourself also. So accountability, again, I talked about that earlier.
And women need to understand that when things go wrong, women don't get blamed for it. Your husband gets blamed for it. When all the bad things happen and the stuff really hits the fan, your husband's taking the brunt of it all.
Yeah.
So, I know he's hard as a rock and he's solid, but he needs to feel love too. He needs you to let him know in his way that you love him and that you're seeing what he goes through.
Right. So what are some ways that women can...
Do you know the number one reason that men give other men of why they cheat?
What's the reason?
That this girl that came along was doing for me and showing me the love that my wife wasn't. Now, I don't condone cheating in any way, shape, or form. To me, that's sucker stuff. That's just you creating an excuse to condone your behavior. But wives, you can very easily make it where there is no excuse left for him. Let him know that he's loved.
How? In what ways? What ways? Because what could a mistress do? A mistress could what?
Does all those crazy weird things that...
Like sexual pleasures? Yes. Okay, so you're saying more... get more sexy, more spunky in the bedroom. Okay. What else? Find out his love language and do that. Some men, their love language is words of affirmation. That's your love language, actually. And
I don't need anything from you materially.
Right. And
as a matter of fact, giving me something materially makes me feel like less of a man. Because I'm the one that goes out and provides the kill for the family. I go hunting, not you. Now, it's all right for birthdays and stuff like that. This is just personally who I am.
Right.
I'm an alpha male to almost the extreme version of it.
Yeah. Clearly.
But there's benefits to that too.
Right.
where you know 100%, no matter what the situation is, you're safe.
Right.
If somebody pulled out a gun and shot it, you know for a fact who that bullet's gonna hit.
Right.
So, but then there are other men that aren't like that.
Right.
So, but ladies, you know who you married.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, you know what his love language is. You might not feel like doing it either. But he doesn't feel like dealing with a lot of your stuff. But he does it on a daily basis. And sometimes, you know, the stuff that your husband is doing are things that his mother did. And his mother gave him little issues and quirks and stuff. And you need to, you know, point that out as well. Don't mother him. Don't be his mother. Be his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to sleep with their mother. Well, who knows? It's a weird time.
It is a weird time.
Maybe some people do. And I'm not here to judge anybody. But,
no, we definitely need to judge.
you know, and stay away from those mama's boys. Ladies who aren't married. Because they're more headaches than what they're worth. Now, I take care of my mother, maybe almost to a degree that
It's unhealthy.
I shouldn't. Like sometimes I'm my mother's husband, taking care of things, but that's me taking care of the hard-nosed things, the fixing stuff, the coming over and doing the things that, you know, she can't have her significant other do. So, there's nothing, I mean, maybe that's a little bit on the border, but I'm talking about the mama's boys who, you know for
she
a
is
fact.
in y'all's marriage.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah, there you go.
When she's dictating certain things and making decisions, that's
Setting
a boundary.
policies in your
Yeah,
home.
that's a boundary that she has now overstepped, and that's
And it's up to your
it
husband.
causes problems, and it's definitely up to your husband to get it under control and check it at the door.
Your husband needs to rule his house as a castle, as a kingdom. You're his queen. You dictate policy to the king, and the king sets the law for everyone else. Women have more power in their marriage than what they think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that. And I feel like it needs to be said that when we're speaking kingdoms and kings and queens, right? It's really, there's a thin line between a king controlling the kingdom and then trying to control his wife also.
That's a dictatorship.
Yeah, that's a dictatorship. And there's a thin line between being a king and setting standards and being a dictator, okay? No woman wants a man
Right.
that's controlling, okay? You want to control everything. That will make a woman resent you. That will make a woman, that will make a woman, that will put a woman in a position to become rebellious, okay? And again, a wife in a rebellious stage is not good for anybody. It's not good for him. It's not good for her. It's not good for the kids. And it's just not healthy. It's toxic.
Yep.
So there has to be some sort of balance, okay? So husbands, wives, what?
That goes back to the man sitting down and talking and listening to his wife.
Right. You have to sit down and talk to your wife and not talk at your wife. A lot of men are like, I am the man, and I don't want to hear anything that you're saying.
Right. True.
And that's the problem. Like, you have to hear your wife out, or guess what? She will go find a man that will listen to her. So it's double-sided. Like, where men go out and cheat or whatever, women go out and cheat too.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, there has to be some balance. There has to be some understanding, and you have to understand that women are helpmates. We are there to help. It cannot be, oh, this is just what I say and what I say goes, because that's not good.
Which goes back
That creates
again
a monster.
sitting down and talking and having conversations with your wife and being willing to open up your ears and take direction.
Right. Well,
Everything has to be a 50-50. It can't be 49-50. It can't be. It has to be even, and both of you have to be willing to adjust your lives for each other.
absolutely.
If you know, husband, if you know that she doesn't like certain things, don't do them. Just don't do them. Wives, same thing. But it's
Or
time
put forth
for
the effort.
it's
to
time
not do
for
it.
men to stand up and be men. These shows, they show the father, the husband, is a bumbling idiot, is a fool. That or your a feminine father. It's time for men to show up and show out for your family. These old timers now who went to work at GM or Ford and had a good factory job and had 8 kids and a car and a home, those guys are dying off.
Yep.
And now it's up to us to stand up and raise our families the right way.
Right.
And don't accept your son wearing a dress.
Yeah.
And don't accept your son putting on nail polish.
Mhm.
There's nothing, you know what? You can call me homophobic all you want. I know who I am.
Right.
I don't care what you have to call me. But what goes on in my house, it ain't happening under this roof.
Right.
None of it.
Right.
So it's time for men to stand up and be men.
Agreed. Well, we've reached 16 minutes, 17, and I hope that you enjoyed our little car talk, which we would not have recorded, but we would probably still be talking about it. So I love you guys. Talk to you
Wait a
guys
minute.
soon.
If they like this video and want to see us do more of the outside of the Christianity type deal, let us know.
Well, we're gonna venture out because there's other topics that need to be discussed that are not about. I mean, like they're rooted and grounded in God, of course, but there are topics that need to be discussed that.
Or let us know the topics you want us to hit.
There you go. Let us know the topics you want us to hit, and we will hit them. We'll just pop and knock it out the park. So I love you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Do not forget, you can email me at speakhervoice2too@gmail.com. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. God bless.